Hi, I'm Dr. Andy Jones, one of the pediatricians at the University of Michigan. One of the objectives of this course is to provide the skills and confidence to discuss safe gun storage and gun safety with our patients and their families. Over the next few minutes, I will be going over some of the practical aspects surrounding safe gun storage. There may be some taking this course who have a limited exposure to firearms. This portion of the course is to cover, in general, different types of firearms and safe storage devices to better understand what families may share with you. Specifically, I will be covering types of firearms, basic ammunition, types of firearm actions, general parts of a firearm. I will also be covering types of gun locks, such as this cable lock, available to families free of charge from their local police station through a national program called Project ChildSafe, as well as ammunition storage. The most important counsel to emphasize to families who choose to keep firearms in the home is this: firearms should always remain unloaded when not in use, especially during storage or transportation. Firearms should always be locked up when not in use. Ammunition should always be stored separately from the firearm, with the ammunition in a locked container. And children of any age should never have access to the keys to these locks. This segment, as well as the remaining segments, are meant to provide a basic knowledge of each of the topics and will not cover all the different possibilities of firearms, ammunition, or safe storage devices. We will now cover a few of the main types of firearms, including handguns and long guns. I will also cover two other types of guns that are not defined as firearms according to state and federal standards, but that might be used by your patients. These two are airsoft and BB, or pellet guns. Airsoft and pellet guns use either springs or compressed air to fire the projectile. Airsoft guns, like all other toy guns, have an orange tip to show that they are not real guns. Patients who use toy guns should be counseled to never remove the orange tip so as not to be confused for real guns by others, including the police. Airsoft guns shoot plastic BBs, which we will go over later. BB or pellet guns also use compressed gas or springs to fire a projectile. However, they fire metal BBs or pellets, which can be dangerous, and these guns should be treated like real firearms. These are inexpensive to shoot and are used for recreation or hunting small game. These are a few examples of handguns, also known as pistols. These are intended to be fired by using the hands only. These firearms are often used for hunting small game, recreational shooting, or for self-defense. There are two very common types of long guns, rifles and shotguns. These are both meant to be used with placement of the butt of the gun against the shoulder, as well as the hands. Rifles are used for hunting of small and large game, as well as recreational shooting, but not as commonly used for self-defense. This is a shotgun. You will notice the barrel of this firearm is larger in diameter than that of the rifle. This is because a shotgun fires multiple projectiles called shot, with each firing. Ammunition, or ammo, is the supply of rounds that is shot from a firearm. We have here a few different kinds of ammunition. Here on the left is an airsoft BB, which is plastic. Next to it are the metal BB and pellet that are fired from the pellet gun. The next three rounds are for handguns. The first of these three is also a common rifle round, in addition to the other rifle round seen here. With the tall rifle round, you will notice that the bullet is similar in size to the others, but that there is much more explosive powder compared to the pistol rounds. The last two are shotgun rounds, with a different diameter of shot contained inside. The anatomy of a handgun includes a grip to hold the firearm, a trigger to fire the firearm, a trigger guard, a chamber where the round is inserted and fired, the barrel where the bullet travels, the muzzle, the point where the bullet exits the barrel, and sights used to aim the gun. Depending on the action, a handgun may also include a hammer, which causes the gun to fire, a cylinder, which holds multiple rounds on a revolver, a slide, which is the part that moves with each shot on a semi-automatic action, and a magazine, which holds multiple rounds and can be replaced. The anatomy of a long gun includes the butt of the gun that goes against the user's shoulder, a grip to hold the firearm, a trigger to fire the firearm, and the trigger guard, a chamber where the round is inserted and fired, and a barrel where the bullet travels. Again, the muzzle, the point where the bullet exits the barrel, and sights used to aim the firearm. Again, the most important counsel to emphasize to families who choose to keep firearms in the home is this: firearms should always remain unloaded when not in use, especially during storage or transportation. Always lock up firearms when not in use. Always store ammunition separately from the firearm and in a locked container. Never allow children of any age to have access to the keys. There are many types of locks or storing options for firearms. We will cover some of the basics here, with particular attention to cable locks. Trigger locks are placed over the trigger to prevent the ability to pull the trigger and fire the gun. Families should never place a trigger lock on a loaded gun, as it still has the potential to be fired. Chamber locks are placed in the action or chamber to prevent the loading of a round into the chamber. Cable locks look like this and can be used in many different ways to prevent loading of the round into the chamber or movement of the mechanism of action. This lock was obtained from my local police department through a national program called Project Child Safe. This program provides free cable locks to anyone who asks for them to aid in the proper storage of firearms. As you can see here, I can lock up every single firearm by using this one type of lock. A case, safe, or lockbox can also be used to store firearms. Most gun cases have the option for a placement of a locking device. Safes come in many shapes and sizes. There are also many options to unlock safes, such as keys, combinations, touchpad, or fingerprint recognition. Another option is to simply disassemble the firearm so that it cannot be used. This can often be very simple to do. I can remove the bolt from this rifle, which could easily be stored or locked in another location. Ammunition should also be stored separately and locked up. Many people store their ammunition in military surplus ammo cans, like this one. These can be locked up to prevent access to the firearm's ammunition, creating yet another protection against intentional or unintentional harm. All of these locks are available at many locations and online.